Good day, esteemed colleagues and sisters of the Americas. I am Dolores Balderamos Garcia. I am a member of the House of Representatives of Belize. Actually, I'm the only woman of 31 members of our House of Representatives. I have been a Minister of Government before, and now I'm an opposition member representing a rural Belize constituency. It's my pleasure to address all of us this afternoon, or this morning, whenever it is, and I do want to give you my brief testimonial about why I believe that political violence and harassment against women is something that we have got to fight against. Being in the political world is not easy, and especially being the lone woman in our house, it has not been a pleasant experience at all times. About a year and a half ago, I rose to address the Speaker of the House and colleagues as to the ill conduct, the bad behavior of the Sergeant-at-Arms, who we also refer to as the mace bearer. He's a young man who has not conducted himself very well in such a high position within our National Assembly. And I had personally seen him intoxicated within the building. I had also been given reports that he was abusive to persons in public, and also that he had publicly urinated and also drunk bottles of beer in public, even though he is a high official. At the time I rose to address the Speaker and the House, as soon as I started referring to the young man's conduct, a couple of the members of the House from the other side, which is the government side, rushed back into the chamber. They had been in the members' room monitoring the proceedings on the video camera. But they rushed back in, and one member, who is a senior member of government, after I had spoken, rose and referred to me in the most derogatory terms. He called me a vile woman, but I believe that those on the other side felt hurt that I had raised in public and within our National Assembly the conduct of the young man. What the senior member did was say that I could not have witnessed what I said that I saw. Now recall that I had said I had seen him intoxicated. I did not say that I had personally seen him with some of the other reported misconduct. But what that member did was refer to the male part and ask me if I knew that I had seen it. And it was extremely lewd conduct on his part. But what was even worse, because lewd conduct is not something that one gets too excited about, what was even worse is that he threatened me, and he referred to myself and my husband, and he said that we better be careful because he knows things about us. Now that was chilling. And also what was very disappointing, colleagues, is that even those members, those male members on my side of the House, did not rise in my defense. It was a lonely, lonely moment indeed. Now, I have to tell you that apart from that chilling threat, when the incident was over, there was such an outcry from the general public that after a couple of days, that senior member found himself having to make a half-hearted apology, not to me, but over the radio, saying that it is something that he somewhat regretted. Now, having gone through that, my colleagues, I can say that I know how it feels, but I do know that what I experienced was perhaps nothing in comparison to what women, even in our Americas and in other parts of the world, have to go through. I was once an observer, a member of an observer group to elections in Sierra Leone, and we were told that many, many women politicians and prospective candidates had been threatened, intimidated, threatened with rape, threatened with murder, threatened in terms of their families. And so I know that this is something that we in the political world, if we are to succeed, must fight against very, very seriously. I want to say, though, that something good always comes from a negative experience. And what I felt at the time in terms of the outpouring of support for the fact that I had the right to talk about matters of importance in the National Assembly, I found that the outpouring of condemnation of the colleague and the outpouring of support to me came, as it surprised me somewhat, mostly from men. And women, of course, my sisters supported us. We called for the resignation of that senior member. Of course, it didn't happen because I felt that the presiding officer of the National Assembly was biased because he is politically appointed. Well, in the political world, we must have thick skin. But I believe that if women are to take our rightful place, because there is a need for more women in parliaments throughout the Americas, there's a crying need for more of us to be around the table in Belize. 1 woman out of 31 is a paltry percentage, and we must do better. But for women to come forward, we must feel comfortable. We must have support systems. And so I want to say that the great outpouring of support for myself at that time and the demand of the Belizean public for better conduct within our National Assembly was something that I found very heartening. And I believe that that person who offended at the time would think twice, because women and men are now standing up and saying bad behavior and ill conduct will not be tolerated, and we will make sure that for more women to be around the table at the decision-making level, we are willing as a Belizean society, and I would hope as the communities of the Americas, if that is the pledge that we make, then we will give the support for it to happen. I always like to look at the brighter side of things, and even though it was a very difficult experience, I believe I have come out stronger for it. With the support that I received, I have become even more outspoken as an opposition member. I talk about the social issues of the day. We speak truth to power, and we try to make sure that we do our part to make our communities better. I want to encourage all of us to continue the fight. I am completely committed to continuing the struggle for more women to be at the decision-making level in Belize, and I just wanted to share my brief experience with you. Women of the Americas, let us unite to ensure, to absolutely ensure that there will be respect for all members of houses of representatives and parliaments, regardless of gender, regardless of beliefs, regardless of differences. And that is the message that I would like to leave with you today. Thank you very much.